You alright? I'm Devedra. Welcome to the Devedra channel. There was one moment in my life where I could see everyone's perspective. And it wasn't exactly a good perspective, but it wasn't a bad perspective either. It was a collaborative and cultural, well, it was societal. It was a point of view when people look down at the shoes you're wearing. And it was a full day. It was a full day of people who I knew. I knew a lot of people, a lot of different types, but it was the first time that they all had the same reaction to one very specific thing, and it was a very surreal moment for me. You see, for one day, and one day only, I wore a pair of white trainers, and they weren't bad looking. They were new as well, but that wasn't the point. It wasn't the fact that they were new. It had nothing to do with like the fashion sense even. It was just the fact that they must have not looked good on me specifically, and it was very out of place kind of reaction that everyone got. Because I'm kind of a troll. Like, I don't care about negative comments and all that. But when it's a consistent, it's the same thing, like repeating itself, you start to notice the pattern. And it was a very unique moment where I could, visually see people for who they really are, and just all with like the same opinion somehow. And it was, it wasn't normal. It just felt like like a loop kind of thing. I was stuck in a loop that lasted, 16 hours. It was a very busy day. Like greeted, I guess, or just said, yeah, right. I was even starting to provoke people halfway through the day. Like, if they didn't say anything, I'd say, "What do you think of my shoes?" Just to get the response, even though I kind of like made it up in my head of what they're already going to say. And this was before the meme, like, what are those? But that was some of the comments. Some of the comments were, "What are you wearing?" kind of thing. Like, what are those shoes? But yeah, it was obviously like renditions of that particular phrase. It was a lot more creative back then because it wasn't a meme, and like no one had that reference to go off, so they came up with a lot of others like, "I wouldn't be wearing them," kind of thing. Like, why are you wearing that? And, why are they white? Is a lot of those like, and it was 100% like that was the reaction, that was the response, and like at the end of the day, I obviously took them off and never wore them again. And I still have them now, like many years after, but it's just strange how moments like that kind of stay with you as like, core memories. Because it didn't matter, it didn't really matter, but it was just the symbolism. The symbolism of having a day. It wasn't like, I wasn't in a bad mood or a good mood. It was just like an average day. It's just the only main thing about it was these like no white shoes. That's the thought I had at the end of the day. And I wonder if now the same thing would happen. Probably not, because of you know cultural changes and all that. But I wasn't trying to fit in or anything. Like I'm not really bothered about popularity, and I can take as many comments in a day. I've taken more comments in a day than that, but it was just weird. Like it wasn't like to do with me even, in a way. It was just like for one day, time kind of froze, and just everyone had the same reaction. And it could have been something small. It could have been a bigger deal. But there are moments in life where it's like people connect, like the brain waves connect, and like people start thinking the same things. I mean, it could have been more than a day, but I guess we'll never know.